If you are a Loc girly who is struggling with self-care, I want to actually reach out to you and let you know that you aren't alone. Even if you feel overwhelmed by the world right now, you aren't alone. God sees you, God hears you, he sees your cries, he hears your prayers, he's watching you, he cares for you, and he loves you. Hey Loc babes, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I am a loctician based here in the state of Connecticut. So if you love all things locks and lifestyle, definitely stay tuned. If you are a millennial woman like I am, I get it. You are busy, you're probably married, you have kids, you have a mortgage or rent payment, you have a car payment, you have a full-time job, you may have all of these things. You have a small business. There's so many things that we're responsible for, and there's so many things that we need. You may have medical issues. You may have an array of different things that are going on, but I want you to make sure that you are not only taking care of your locks, but you are taking care of yourself, your body, mind, body, and soul. So today I'm gonna share with you tips for my Loc babes that you can do to make sure that you are prioritizing self-care. All right, the first tip I have for you are beauty hacks work, okay? So maybe you don't have all the time in the world to do a full face of makeup. You don't have time for lashes. You don't have time for beating your face. You don't have time for concealer, for foundation, for highlight, for whatever all these makeup things are. You don't have time for all of those. But you do want to make sure that you feel good about yourself and you look presentable for the world. What I would recommend is that you purchase a good BB cream, a good mascara, and a good lipstick. These three simple things can definitely help you feel more confident, feel more alive, feel more beautiful, and feel more productive.
Tip number 2 is
the BB cream is a tinted face moisturizer. So you're just going to put that all over your face. It kind of works like a foundation. If you find the perfect tint, your face will look seamless and flawless all the time. Mascara, obviously, are for your eyelashes. You can just put on some mascara to brighten up your eyes, and lipstick always does the trick. If you feel down or you feel like, oh, I need to really take care of myself, definitely pop on some lipstick. It will brighten up your face and it will make you feel ready for the world. Practice simple mindfulness. So this is how I start my morning, every morning without fault. And if for some reason my morning gets jacked up and I don't start it in this order, my brain is actually like, what are we doing, right? That's how much I do this. So the first thing I do when I wake up, I shower, I get myself together, and then I go in my prayer room / closet. There I have my time with the Lord. I read my Bible, I read my devotional for the day. I really set my mind onto whatever the scriptures are that I have for the day. Instead of taking a whole big chunk and trying to focus on everything, I focus on my devotional, my time with God, and the scriptures that were leading me for today. Today's scripture that was led to me was Genesis 8, verses 1 to 12. Right? And it was the parable of Sarah and Abraham and how they welcomed the three strangers into their house, and they gave them the best of everything, the best flour. They gave them a young fattened calf, and they gave them all these things. And they didn't know that they were entertaining angels, right? They saw these three men who were hot and who looked like they were hungry, and they just wanted to serve them. But in that, the Lord ended up blessing them with a message that Sarah would be pregnant the following year. And Abraham and Sarah were ancient. That's what the Bible says. They were very old at this time. But something that they wanted so desperately that they didn't have. But because they were welcoming these strangers into their home and they fed them and they did all this wonderful stuff for them, the Lord blessed them. And that's not to say that you have to do things to get a blessing, but it's just to say if you actually look outside of yourself and care for other people, your blessings might come in a form of service to others. So that was my message this morning, and I thought like, wow, that really hit home to me. I love serving other people, and I don't do it because I'm expecting a result, but just knowing that my service and my love for other people is still being seen by God, it just made me feel really good. So that's also why I chose this topic today, because I just feel like if you are a Loc girly who is struggling with self-care, I want to actually reach out to you and let you know that you aren't alone. Even if you feel overwhelmed by the world right now, you aren't alone. God sees you, God hears you, he sees your cries, he hears your prayers, he's watching you, he cares for you, and he loves you, right? But you just have to take the time to actually listen to him and listen to what he's saying. So that just turned into a whole little sermon. It wasn't supposed to be. I was just telling you guys how my morning started. So I started with that. I meditated for a while. I journaled about my thoughts about the scripture, about how that pertains to my life now and the things that I am praying for and looking for, and just the way that I'm being while I'm waiting, in the waiting, how I'm serving, right? So that's how I started my day. I lit a candle, I got myself together, then I got dressed, then I did my face, my skincare routine, then I did all the rest of the stuff. But because I started with prayer and mindfulness and meditation and journaling, my day already feels like it's off to a great start. Something else that you might want to look into is easy meal prep. I know you guys see millions of videos of people meal prepping like 20 lunches and 20 dinners and 20 breakfasts. And if you have the time and the ability to do so, then you can absolutely do that. But if you're like me and you're just a busy millennial girl who's trying to make it, trying to provide for her family too, we don't have time for that. And I don't even have enough space in my refrigerator for 5 million containers for 4 people. I just don't. So what I like to do during the week, I like to think of simple dinners that I can create that won't take too much of my time, so I can spend more time doing the things that I need to do and less time in the kitchen. So one of my go-to meals for a weekday would be like penne Alfredo. So it's just penne, it's Alfredo sauce, and if I have some sausages or something like that, I will chop them up, I will saute them in a pan, and I'll add that to the pasta. Quick, simple, easy meal. You can make this whole thing in about 15 minutes tops. Okay, we also have the one pot chicken and rice, family favorite. This is like a great dish to do as well. So I take my big cast iron pan, I will brown my chicken in the cast iron pan first. You put all your chicken in there, you brown it, you season it with whatever it is you like. You take the chicken out, you add your rice into the same mixture that you had for the sauteed chicken. You put some water over it, and then you put your chicken that you just browned back on top of it. You pop it in the oven. 45 minutes to an hour later, dinner is done. So the only prep you have to do is to brown the chicken before you actually add in the rice and all those type of things and put it in the oven. It is delicious. The rice is like super soft. It's amazing. And then if you're using a cast iron pan like I am, this can last you for 2 days. So that's another meal that you can do. Frozen pizza. I don't know where you guys shop, but I shop at Aldi. And Aldi has $5 huge frozen pizzas. Yes. I buy, so every time I go grocery shopping, which I'm gonna go today, I always buy 2. Just in case I have a moment or a week like this where I'm like, oh, what am I gonna make everybody for dinner? We're gonna pop that frozen pizza in the oven, and that's what we're having for dinner tonight. So those are just 3 simple things that you can think of. You can also do a meatless Monday, where you just get big bags of salads and you add a whole bunch of stuff in it. Cucumbers, carrots, tomatoes, corn, a huge salad, and everybody can enjoy it. It's light, it's refreshing, and it didn't take too much time to prepare or to put together. Those are some things that I love to do. Everything that I named, minus the salad, I cannot eat. So after I get my family squared away, then I think about myself, because I'm usually a bit more complex since I am now a fake vegan pescatarian and I'm gluten-free. It takes a lot more work for me to actually sit down and think about not only what do I want to eat, but what can I eat? So once I have my family together and I have that box checked off, then I can think about myself, and it's a lot easier than trying to do it in reverse, because sometimes it takes me longer to figure out what I want, and if I wait too long, then I'm postponing their dinner as well, and it's crazy. I'm sure you guys can hear your nephew barking. Your nephew always wants to be in my videos. He loves you guys so much, he just always wants to be around. That's why. All right, and last but not least, time blocking. So this is something that I really prioritize in my real estate career. I think I shared with you guys, I'm a realtor as well. So in my real estate career, time blocking is essential. So what time blocking looks like, I'll give you a quick example. I would wake up at 5 a.m. and I would work out. So 5 to 6 is my workout. 6 to about 7 is my meditation, my prayer, my journaling, all of those things that I need to do. 7 to 8, I'm prepping all the calls and things that I need to make that day. So this is my follow-up time. This is the time that I'm actually scheduling to call the people after it's like a reasonable time in the morning to make calls. So follow up with this person. I have an open house at this time. Follow up with this person, stop this place, send this email, have this phone call. That's what I do from 7 to 8. And from 8 to 10, I do the things that I listed. So whether it's make a phone call for 15, 20 minutes, go and stop someplace for 15, 20 minutes. I do all those things from 8 to 10, right? So 10 to 12 is usually my errands. So if I have to pick up something for my daughter, she has a dance recital, pick up something for my other daughter, she has an art project or she's doing something else. pick up something for my husband. He wants this for dinner, or he wants to go there, or do something else there. All of my errands I run between 10 and 12. And during that time, I'm still on the phone sometimes. I'm still checking my email. I'm still doing all those things. Between 1 to like 4 is when I'm back home now, and I will be sitting down and just closing up my day. So again, typing back the emails, ending with calls, scheduling content. I would do all those things from 1 to 4 and figuring it out. And at the last maybe 30 minutes, 3:30 to 4 is when I'm now thinking about what am I gonna do for dinner. So that looks like this is how you time block to make sure that everything you're doing is not bleeding into your whole day, right? So I spend the first of my morning getting myself together, doing my workout, having my time with God, getting myself prepared for the day. And then I spend the rest of that day working. And I also have a time where I stop working. So 5 o'clock when my husband comes off of work, my girls are usually home from school. 5 to 7 is family time. We eat, we watch a movie, we play a game. This is time dedicated for that. I'm not calling anybody. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not emailing anybody. This is my dedicated family time. And after 7 o'clock, once everybody does their own little things, then I can follow up on whatever I have that's going on from there. Right now, I'm not practicing real estate. I absolutely do still have my real estate license, but I wanted to kind of shift last year and focus more on my loctician business. So my schedule has changed drastically, but I wanted to show you guys what time blocking looks like so you can prioritize it the best for you. So now that my schedule is different, my mornings look a little different too. So I don't have a tighter schedule with showings and calls and all these type of things, but I do have scheduled clients. So once I see what clients I have for the day, I usually time block early in the morning so I can still get my time with God in. I need to be getting my workout back in again. And then later in the afternoon, if something else is that I need to do. If I have clients who are only at night, then I'll just time block the same way I said for the morning. If I have a client in the middle of the day, then I time block myself in the morning. I have my client, and then I time block myself in the evening. So you just have to look at your schedule and look at it realistically and say, where can you time block? And the time blocking is for you to self-prioritize. I know. We put ourselves last. Why? Because this is just what we do. We're women, we're nurturing, we give, we wanna make sure our family is good, our spouses are good, we wanna make sure the house is together, we wanna make sure we have all these things in order. But the only way that our house runs is if we are running, and not running just on coffee or running on Dunkin'. We need to be running on something that is life-changing. We need to be running on water. We need to be running on feeding ourselves, nurturing ourselves. We need to be running on God. We need to be self-prioritizing. Take this time to really get yourself in line and yourself together so you can give, right? You can't give from an empty cistern. You need something to pour out, to pour into other people. So I really want to tell you guys, I really want to recommend that you prioritize, you take care of yourself. I know from COVID, we've had this whole self-care thing, and some of us been doing it, some of us haven't, some of us tried and fell off. I'm guilty of that. I had a good run. Mondays was my self-care day. I didn't do anything else. But as life picked up, Mondays became a day where I need to film content, I need to edit content, I need to make calls, I need to do whatever it is. So I found little ways to add self-care throughout my week. And if that's something that you're open to and you have the time for it, I would say go for it and do that too. If every day you can walk at a certain time, walk the dog at a certain time. If every day you can go to the gym, or you can read, or you can light a candle at a certain time, do whatever it is that you need. Do whatever it is that feeds your soul so you can be your best self, okay? So I just wanted to give my Loc girlies some self-care tips for really prioritizing your time and really making sure that you take care of yourself. So let me know in the comments below, what do you do for self-care? Is it something that you do in particular? Is it somewhere you go? Do you have a ritual of things that you do? And I also do self-care before bed as well too. That's when I will wash my face if I have makeup on, take a hot shower, spray my pillow with lavender and sleep mist spray, and just relax. So tell me in the comments what you do, what you like to prioritize for self-care. All right, guys, so thank you so much for joining me on what I think is day 28 of the 30-day Loc Care challenge. I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos as we are coming to an end. I'm thinking about what my next group of videos will be. So if you have any recommendations of what you would like me to make a video about or things that you're interested in, definitely drop that in the comments too below. Until next time, guys. Mwah. See you later.